Om Shanti. So you now are using this tool of Om Shanti more and more, I hope. Because that's exactly what it is. It's a tool which is meant to be used. And I can use it anytime, anywhere, with anyone. Even when I'm sitting in traffic, I can say to myself, Om Shanti, means I am a peaceful soul. And so one thing we've noticed is that when our thoughts become calm, then our creativity level goes up. When your thoughts calm down, you can create better thoughts. You can create more nourishing thoughts. Because that's exactly what our thoughts do for the soul. Our thoughts have the ability to nourish the soul. And believe it or not, the soul is actually malnourished. We feel sorry for people in third world countries who are malnourished. And here, worldwide, you'll see that the soul, each soul, has become very malnourished. And so the thoughts I create nourish the soul. And it's not just I am a peaceful soul. Last week we mentioned the 7 qualities of the soul. And those 7 qualities, I would recommend write them down, do something, put them up on your mirror, put them up on the fridge, do something so slowly you get to know them off by heart. That without looking, without referring to anything, you can remember those 7 qualities. And you can use those qualities in your life. These qualities are meant to be used in relationships. These qualities actually increase our value. Think about it for a moment. When someone passes away, and in the last year since COVID, we've all seen, I don't think there's anybody who is unaffected by this COVID, means they know of somebody who's passed away because of this pandemic. But what happens when anybody passes away for whatever reason? Then what do we do? What do we do? We talk about that soul. I don't know what you call it, but you'll get together and honor that individual. So when we talk about them, what do we say about them? We say the good things that we saw in that individual, and all of a sudden, their goodness becomes highlighted. The contrast becomes very clear. We speak of their qualities. And if somebody was to say something ill of the dead, then what would we say to that person? We say to them, don't speak ill of the dead. Because that soul, somewhere, somehow, I'll explain the dynamics in another session, but that soul knows what we are feeling for it or towards it. So qualities are very, very important. What is meditation? One is meditation is nourishing the soul, or you could say recharging the battery. The soul is a battery, it needs recharging. Where are the mains we will talk about in tomorrow's lesson? When the soul needs recharging, where is the mains from which it can recharge? The other thing that meditation does is meditation is getting in touch with these seven qualities. Means work with the assumption. Because firstly, you won't be able to find these qualities in yourself. So you work with the assumption that I am happy, I am peaceful, I am loving. And so then what happens is, firstly, you work with the assumption I am loving or peaceful or whatever. And I don't know how many of you did algebra at school. You start with an assumption. So your assumption could be A equals C. And then you do all the maths towards it, and the result is A equals C. So here also, you start with the assumption that I am a peaceful soul. And then by creating that thought, the calmness makes us creative. So that creativity is not to do with painting and dancing and singing and dressmaking or cooking. We are all creators. All day we are creating. What are we creating? Every second we are creating thoughts. So we are creators. And so that calmness allows me to create positive thoughts. Whatever I create, I will then concentrate on that. Calm, creative, concentration. Because the biggest complaint when somebody learns to meditate is, I can't concentrate. You haven't created anything beautiful, so what would you concentrate on? You haven't experienced the beauty, the power of the soul, so why would you want to concentrate? I have never seen a football fan or a cricket fan say that I can't concentrate on the game. They concentrate at the cost of breaking relationships. If you call somebody, like if I call my brother and he's watching the football, he's like, go away, I don't want to know, I don't want to know. Doesn't answer the phone, focused, concentration. Why? Because he's getting something out of it. Because there's an attainment, because there's a passion. And so when I create something beautiful, nothing and nothing will stop me from concentrating on that. So today, we're going to look at this expression which you've all heard, all the world is a stage. Why am I going to use this expression, which is my Shakespeare? You would say, well, we've come here to learn meditation. What is this statement, all the world is a stage, got to do with meditation? It has a lot to do with meditation. Because although we discussed last week many things about the soul, where it resides in the body, why in that particular place, what its capabilities are, where does the soul come from? Every human being means there's a soul and there's the physical body. So, where does the soul come from? The physical body is created in the mother's womb. We know that. But the soul comes from a place called home. And this world, this earth, is a stage. What is needed on a stage? Those of you who go to plays or watch a film or go to see a drama in the theatre, then what is the requirements of the stage? So firstly, somebody's given the answer, actors. We will look at the list of things that are required on this world stage. Actors, definitely. But before the actor goes on the stage, one thing is necessary. Even before the script, even before the director, what is necessary for the world stage? Lighting. If there is no powerful lighting on the stage, the director won't enjoy it. The script, okay, that's secondary. Actors won't enjoy. You need, and the lighting is above and it focuses down onto the stage. So, where is the lighting for this stage that we're on? The lighting is the sun, the moon, and the stars. Imagine if there's no sun, there's no moon, and there's no stars. There are certain countries in the world in which, at certain times of the year, they see very little sun. Like even within the UK in winter, by 4 o'clock it's dark. There are countries like Sweden, the Scandinavian countries, which sometimes don't see sun for many hours of the day. And it's a well-known, documented fact that those countries, even though they are affluent countries, they are countries in which the education level is very high, but the suicide level is very high also, because there is darkness. And so light is necessary for our physical growth, for our mental growth. We need light. Even prisoners, for a few hours of the day, they are let outside so they get light. And even during lockdown, we were allowed to go out for a walk or something like that because light is very necessary. And so the light for this world stage is above the earth and its focus, the sun's focus, is towards the world stage. So the lighting has been provided. Now, the actors. Human being. So, the word human stands for the costume. The physical body is the costume. It's the soul that is the actor. It's a soul, the being that is pulled, it's drawn, there is a desire to want to come onto the world stage to play a role. It is attracted to the stage. Some of you might have heard of actors. I'm not too sure of names of actors. I don't watch that many movies. But I do know that there are actors who, maybe at a young age, they might have left acting. But after a few years, maybe even after 10 years, they have come back to acting because it's in their blood. I, the soul, the actor, I am also drawn. I am drawn to act. Means I want to come into action. Supposing you're very tired, very, very tired, you go to sleep. You sleep 10 hours, 13 hours, 15, 20 hours. At some point, somehow, somewhere, there will be the thought, I need to get up. I need to come and act. I need to do things. And so we are actors. The soul is the actor. This physical body is the costume that it gets when it comes onto the world stage. All of us know that, firstly, in a mother's womb, it's the embryo that is prepared first. And you're allowed to abort up until a certain time, you're allowed abortion. But then there comes a point when the doctors say no to abortion. It's not always called embryo. After a while, it becomes called, it changes from being an embryo and it becomes fetus. And that is when the soul has entered matter, because that's all it is first. The embryo is just matter. Soul enters matter, it becomes a fetus, and then the costume, the physical body, start to take shape. So the soul is the actor and the physical body is the costume. When I, the soul, am in the physical body, when it enters the fetus, then it is in a very uncomfortable position. However, it does want to come out. And so it's in an uncomfortable position. It is dependent at that time. It is 100% dependent on physical nourishment from the mother. This is why doctors and mother-in-laws or whoever say that at that time, the mother has to be very careful what she listens to, what she does, what she eats, because there's a soul who is also being influenced and is dependent on whatever the mother eats. So it's like what you listen to at that time when expecting also matters a great deal. It has a huge influence on the soul. So you've got the lighting, you've got the costume, you've got the actors, and then somebody wrote in the chat box, script. Who is writing my script? Where is my script going to come from? Obviously, we write our own script. And we write our script in the form of thoughts. My thoughts are my script, and I'm writing them non-stop. I'm writing my script. Means my thoughts determine, or my thoughts decide my destiny. A lot is dependent on our thoughts. So what kind of thoughts do I have throughout the day? What kind of thought do I have about myself? What kind of thought do I have about others? What kind of thoughts do I have about God? Some people don't believe in God, but we will look at that in our next session. Firstly, we have to finish All the world is a stage. The other thing that's needed within this world stage is a plot. No play or drama or theater or movie is complete without a plot. Within that plot, there has to be as many elements as possible. Otherwise, a film which doesn't have different elements, that becomes boring. Supposing you went to the theatre with your friends or with whoever, and the play begins with everyone's happy, everything's going nice and normal, there's no issues, there's no conflict, there's no quarrel. And so you think, okay, this is the starting, this is the beginning. But as you progress, then there's some kind of anticipation within us that what's going to happen. And so, supposing that drama continues in the same format, everyone's happy, there's no issues, there's no problems, there's no conflict, there's no friction between anybody. And you think, okay, something's going to happen, something's going to happen. And then it continues in that mode throughout the whole play. There's no contrast between happiness and sorrow. There's no death, there's no fighting, there's no quarreling, there's no profit loss, nothing of the sort. Just happiness from the beginning through the middle till the end. When you leave that theater and you call your friend on your mobile phone, you call, and he will ask you, he or she will ask you, how was the play? How was the movie? What will you reply? You just watched a play, nothing happened, there was no conflict, no issues, no problems. What will you reply to your friend? You will say to them, it was boring. You'll say to them, don't waste your money coming to see it. And so, I, the actor, want action. What kind of things do we want in the plot? So, within the plot, there is birth and death, there is happiness and sorrow, there is profit and loss. There are so many elements. There is day and night, there is birth, childhood, adolescence, adult, old age. All of these factors are there. There are so many factors within the plot that make this world drama exciting. And like in a play, you have scene one, act two. So this is exactly what is happening on this world stage. There are many different scenes, and the beauty of all of these scenes is they never remain the same. Change is the name of the game. So look, for example, what a contrast between 2019 and 2020. Change. Every day, every moment, we are changing. The stage is also changing. Earlier in the chat box, somebody put the word director. For this world stage, for this whole drama, then a director is necessary. And actors who are successful in life, in their job, they are successful on the basis of their relationship with the director. Because they know that the director can make them. They know that the director can take them to heights, to become a great actor. But for that to happen, the actor has to be able to catch the signals of the director. The actor has to be able to see what is the director saying to me. Why is the director saying to me again and again and again and again, do it better, do it again, you can do better. So when a situation is coming in my life again and again and again, the same situation, then the director is giving us a signal that you cannot move from this scene, from this situation, until you pass, until you perfect your role. So the scene or situation, for example, if it's a relationship, and in that relationship I keep getting angry, and you think, well, okay, next time I won't get angry. And again, something happens within that relationship, and again you get angry. So this will continue until you don't get angry, until you pass that test, until you pass that audition, until you pass that this will not happen again, until you don't achieve that, then that situation will come again and again and again. Now, if I want to pass the situation quickly, I don't want to have to do 16 retakes or 20 retakes. I want to do it within 1 or 2. So for that, I need to keep my attention A, on my acting, but B, on the director. Because the director can give me lots of signals. That is one thing. The director can give me signals. The other thing is, within a play, within drama, how often does the director come onto the world stage? The director comes onto the stage once and once only. He will come, he or she will come right at the end. And why right at the end? Because the play is finishing. Everybody's waiting to take a bow, because the actors, they can't go home until all of them have come onto the world stage. They're waiting so that they can take a bow and everybody can applaud and say once more, once more. And the director is called onto the stage. The director comes, he is also applauded. Why is the director applauded? Because you created such a wonderful, such an amazing, such a great play. You created it and you showed it. You hid yourself away. The director hid himself away. And now, right at the end, the director is being congratulated. The director, even the actors will thank the director. The audience is thanking him anyway, but the actors will also thank. And the director says, pack up. The director says, it's time to go home. So, this is the world stage. Then, where exactly is home? What else is there on this world stage? So, there are many different roles. One single actor plays multiple roles. Excuse me. So, one actor, how many roles do each of you play? When you wake up in the morning, role of wife, role of mother, role of getting ready for work. So you're getting into you're an employee or the boss maybe. When you go by train or bus to work, you're a passenger. When you go to the supermarket for shopping, you're called customer. When you go to visit a doctor, you're the patient. When you go to visit your solicitor, you're the client. When you go to visit your family, you can be the sister, the mother, the daughter. One individual plays so many roles. And this is where we get stressed. This is where anxiety comes in because we're not sure if we're playing our role properly. We're not happy with our role. So instead of becoming soul conscious, we have become role conscious. There's a great difference between being soul conscious and role conscious. If I practice soul consciousness for a few minutes every morning, whatever time I get up, it's too early in the course for me to say what time to get up. But the earlier, the better. And why am I saying the earlier, the better? Because for our own mental health, it's very necessary, not a luxury, it's a necessity to give time to yourself before you begin the activities of the day. Before becoming action conscious, I have to make the tea, I have to make breakfast, I have to get ready, I have to shower, I have to iron my clothes, I have to prepare, I have to, read an email, I have to do this, I have to send the kids to school. Before we become action conscious, it's necessary that I give time to myself to become soul conscious. And the benefit of becoming soul conscious means the benefit of giving time to myself in which there is self-awareness. The benefits are multiple. The benefit is that before the day begins, I am recharging and I am going to go out. I'm going to get up and do whatever's necessary, but on a full battery. Normally, what happens when it comes to meditation, people reserve meditation for the end of the day. And so they start off empty, they go through their whole day empty, then they come back home from wherever, they're still empty, they've had a tough day, they haven't had any battery to help them at all, and then they think, I need to unwind, I need to relax, I need to meditate, I need to let go of all the baggage I've accumulated because you're doing it the wrong way round. Evening meditation has a different purpose to morning meditation. Morning meditation is recharge. Evening meditation is to review. Review the day, and once you've reviewed the day, the good, the bad, the ugly, then what do you do with all of that you've accumulated? With whatever's happened, you throw it up. You surrender whatever has happened because you want to go to bed blank. You want to go to sleep without the day's baggage in your thoughts. Because you want to wake up and feel that you have rested. Sometimes what happens is we go to sleep and we go to sleep with a lot of baggage, a lot of the day's rubbish. This one said this happened, this shouldn't have happened, this shouldn't have been said. We go to bed with the whole day burden in our head. When we wake up, the first thing we feel is burdened, heavy. We haven't let go of yesterday. We're still carrying it. So I'm telling you this as a tip or a trick. And where did we learn this tip or trick from? The head of the organization, her name was Dadi Prakashmani, and she passed away in 2006. And such a huge organization, Brahma Kumaris, it's worldwide. She was the head of the organization. And so one day, somebody asked her, how are you able to sleep at night? You know, so many issues, so many problems. People come to you non-stop. You have to organize so many programs. You have to see that everything's functioning well. So many centers, so many surrendered sisters who you're responsible for, who answer to you. How do you sleep at night? Don't you have tension? This was a question that was put to her. And she said, no, I don't have any tension because before I go to bed, I review the whole day. I review interactions that I've had. I review whatever I set out to do that day, if it had been accomplished. And then after the review, I put it all to God. I just put it all on Him. It's all yours now. I am blank. I am empty. I am going to bed. So she said, when I wake up, I don't remember yesterday. It's like I've cleaned the slate and then gone to sleep. I haven't taken anything with me. I haven't recorded anything which is going to hinder my sleep or which is going to create a problem for me the next day. And so this is something, try. The evening meditation, the purpose is to review. So now, if this idea, tried to put it very simply, the world is a stage. On this world stage, whatever we do, whichever field I'm in, then whether I'm a child or a grown-up or whatever it is, in whichever scope or profession or whatever it is I'm doing. For example, a child, come 3 o'clock or 3:30, I don't know what time kids finish school these days, but come 3:30 or whatever time, what did that child start thinking after 2:30, quarter to 3, 3 o'clock? What is that child thinking? The whole class is getting excited. What is the excitement all about? The excitement is it's going to be home time. And so they're eager, they're excited because they're going to go home. So there's this phrase, I don't know if they're now in kids, home time. They run out to the classroom. Home time. Supposing you work in an office, at work, be it a shop, be it an office, whatever it is. When it's time to 5:30 or 5, when it's time for the office to close, then that employee or boss or whoever, they also start looking at the clock discreetly. It's nearly time to go home. And so that they're preparing, they're just waiting for 5:30 when they can switch off their computer, switch off the light, and go home. Home might be a different scenario. There might be a battle happening at home, argument, conflict, whatever. But there is the happiness to go home. Supposing you go on a 2 week holiday. You go to Spain or to I don't know where people go nowadays. And you go to Mauritius or somewhere. You're staying in a 5-star hotel. After a few days, after the intoxication and the beauty of the place has worn off, within a week, I bet you any money, you will start saying, I can't wait to go home. What is there at home that is not there in that 5-star hotel? What is there at home that is not there in the 5-star hotel? Your creature comforts, your own cup, your own bed, your own pillow, your everything that you enjoy is at home. You can put your feet on the coffee table. You can tuck your feet in under you when you're sitting on the sofa. You can have a sandwich in bed. So, even though you're in a place of great luxury, towards the end, you start looking forward to going home. That's what we say. We want it's time to go home now. I can't wait to get home. Supposing you go shopping all day with your friends. You go shopping, sightseeing. Come evening, then what do you start saying to each other? Hurry up now. It's time to go home. I'm tired. I'm tired. I want to go home. Child, home time, excited. Office person, home time. On holiday, home is what you remember. And when you've been out all day, shopping or whatever, even then you will start thinking of home. That is the physical home, where there's a feeling of belonging. You can chill, you can relax, it's yours. There's so many feelings that you can have at home that you cannot have anywhere else. The same applies to the soul. The soul, the actor, has come from home, come onto this world stage to play a role. Within the role, there are so many factors. It's playing a huge part. It's not a small part. And the soul is now tired. It's fed up. It's had enough. It's not liking the plot anymore. It didn't expect COVID to come into the plot. And so the soul wants to go home, but it doesn't know the way. It doesn't know how to go there. It knew how to come onto the world stage. It came into a one-way system. Coming onto this world stage is the same as coming onto a one-way system. You have to go through the whole one-way system and then you can go back home. So home is where I, the soul, have come from. And we know what the stage looks like. The stage means the stage is also made of 5 elements. This physical body is made of 5 elements. The stage is exactly the same. It's made of 5 elements. The world is 70% water. Our physical body is 70% water. Now, I'm going to tell you a story, and if you were in front of me, I would ask you to fill in the missing blanks. But anyway, technology has its limits. So listen to this story carefully, and you fill in the blanks. A child lives on the 17th floor of a block of flats, high-rise flats. He's on the 17th floor. He wakes up, mother wakes him up. He has a wash, whatever. He has breakfast and he goes out. He goes to look out of the window. And what does he see down below? He sees activity. He sees cars, he sees people, he sees a lot of activity and color. Now the blank is, what is that child going to say to his mother? I will wait for all of you to write something in the chat box. What will that child say to his mother when he looks down out of the window? And I will have a drink of water in the meantime while you are writing. Who's going to fill in the blanks? Can I go down, please? Exactly. Mom, I want to know what's going on down there. I want to go down. Amazing. Any more? Those who wrote, did you notice that you all wrote the same thing? And did you notice it's the right answer? That child will say to his mother, I want to go down and play. Child wants to go down and play. And the mother, she says, no problem, you can go down and play. And so that child goes down to play. And when he goes down, he's full of energy because he's slept, he's had breakfast. So he's on full battery. And he starts playing. He plays with his friends. He makes friends and plays with them. And he enjoys it a great deal. He's so happy because he can act. Whilst that child is playing, slowly, gradually, what starts to happen? Some of his friends will one of his friends might try and trip him up. He will fall. Somebody might hurt him. Somebody might hit him. Somebody will say, you can't play with us. Somebody will say, you're not on our team. And so there's rejection coming from all around. Plus he's being hurt from other places. Somebody's hitting him. And he's also getting tired of his own accord. All of this is happening now because the child is getting tired and he's being rejected. They're not letting him be with him on their team. So then what happens? The child is still determined to play. The child wants to be part of the game. And then it becomes worse. He will be taunted, he will be hurt, he will be rejected. All sorts of things will happen. And at the same time, he's getting more and more tired. And then he'll go into a corner and he'll start crying. And when he's crying, who will that child remember at that time? Write in the chat box. It's not a long answer I'm expecting. Who will the child remember at that time when he's tired, when he's rejected? Yes, so somebody's written, Mom. Yes, this person has children. Somebody's written home. Well done. Mom again. Okay. Any more answers? Mother and home. Amazing. You're not cheating. You're not looking at anybody else's answers, but you're coming up with the same answers. Child remembers mom. And then the story to be continued. So somebody's written familiarity and comfort. True. Okay, so the child is crying now and he's remembering all of what you've just said in the chat box. And then, whilst he's crying, guess who comes and finds him? The mom or the dad? And the mom says, "What's wrong? What happened? Why are you crying?" And then the child answers, "They hit me and they don't let me play, and I'm tired and I'm hungry and they did this to me." The child will tell his sorrow to his parents. They're horrible, they're nasty. And what does the mother say? Or what does the father say at that time? The mother or father will say, "It's okay. It's okay. Let's go home. Let's go up. Let me give you a nice bath. Let me change your clothes. You need to have dinner and you need to rest. It's time to go home." Parent will say, "It's time to go home." Why am I telling you such stories on Zoom at 9 o'clock at night? And why are you listening at 9 o'clock at night to such stories? Because I have, in short, told you the story of the soul. The soul is at home. It's not on the world stage yet. Whilst it's at home, it's resting. It's resting means it has no action to do whatsoever. Because it doesn't have a physical body, it cannot perform action. Because it doesn't have a physical body, it doesn't need to be clothed, it doesn't need to be fed, it doesn't need rest, it doesn't need anything. It's just in the soul world or home, and it's resting. And then, after a while, after it's rested, it becomes itchy. Itchy means it can see down and it sees a beautiful, colorful planet. And the thought which happens in the soul, remember last week we discussed thoughts are within the soul. So there is the one thought. That one thought is so powerful, so magnetic, that the soul leaves home to come onto this world stage. So remember that baby, that child, 17th floor, looking down and says, "I want to go down." So even in the soul world, in home, the soul says to its parent, to its father, to its God, "I want to go down." And that's it. It has, why 17th floor? Okay, it can be 27th, it can be 30th floor. 17th just means high up. Not anything to do with, nothing particular about that number. So, the soul, one thought, and it will come onto this world stage. This is why all of you who have read that book, The Secret, what is The Secret? It's a movie and it's a book and it's called The Secret. The secret is our thoughts are magnetic. whatever I think, because at that time in the home, the soul is in its purest, its highest state, full battery, no backlog, no worries about the future. It is just resting, and one thought, it's like that thought, it's like a magnet, and it gets pulled onto this world stage. And then it starts playing its role. Look at the words that are used. I didn't create those words. Even a child will say, I want to go down and play. Play. That is exactly what we're doing. We are playing a role. And we go to watch a play. And football, etc., they are playing. So, play means it's meant to be enjoyed. That's all it is. Everything that's happening is a play. So, child comes down means the soul. Child of God comes down onto this world stage to play its role. Initially, it has a lot of fun. Initially, battery full. It's happy. Then the battery gradually, through no fault of anyone, battery starts to reduce, and its happiness also starts to reduce. And then when we, why haven't I won the lottery? When we become empty, then we sit in a corner. I'm not speaking literally, but what is happening mentally, we are crying. Means one is crying from the eyes, one is crying when I'm complaining. Complaining is also a form of crying. And at that time, who am I going to remember? We remember the one up above. I have seen since COVID especially, people are turning towards prayer. People are turning towards that give good wishes, give love, give, because we have hit rock bottom. And so I will also stop now because I am looking at the time, and we will continue to talk about home tomorrow. Where is home? What does it look like? And how do I get there? So we'll do a few minutes of meditation, and I will see you all tomorrow. I relax the body and I turn my attention, my focus towards the soul. I am the actor. My acting has to improve every single day. I will get a certificate for my acting. The certificate will be the blessings of others around me. When others are happy with my acting, they will say, once more, once more. I, the actor, come onto this world stage to play my role. I am a pure soul, and my goal is to become completely clean, completely free of any baggage. I am light. I, the being of light, have come from a world of light. This world of light is the home where I have come from. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. I'll see you all tomorrow, 8:30. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.